Good morning, class. It's nice to see you all today. For today's discussion, let's make it a fun and productive class. Okay, settle down, please. Before we proceed, kindly please stand for a prayer. Yes, kid, lead the prayer. Our Father, alright, you may now take your seats, class. Now, let us check your attendance. Is anyone absent today? Wow, it looks like all are present today. Let's give a quick clap for everyone who's here and ready to learn. Very good. Before you settle down and before we proceed, kindly pick up the pieces of papers under your chair and arrange your chairs properly. Alright, everyone, eyes up here. I have something to share with you today. Today, we'll be setting our class pledge. Sorry. Yes, we will be setting our class pledge. So, our class pledge, is a set of promises, brother. So, I think class rules are very common, and there's a tendency that some students will really not follow each rule. So, what we will have today is a pledge, meaning it is a set of promises to make to each other to keep our classroom fun, safe, and supportive place to learn. So each letter in class stands for a key rule or a key promise, and will add a fun action to help us remember. Am I clear? Alright, very good. Now, these are class pledge. C for connect with kindness. We must be kind, share, and lift each other up. Our action for this pledge is to do a thumbs up. Alright? Now L for listen like a detective. We must pay close attention to speakers like a detective solving a mystery. Our action for this pledge is like this. Since we must pay close attention. Alright. A for awesome effort. Try your best. Mistakes are just steps to learning. And our action for this pledge is like this. S for speak up but in the right way. And it means we must share ideas but raise our hand first and use a classroom voice. So what do we mean by classroom voice? Our voice must not be too loud because we might disturb other classes. Our action for this is to raise our right hand. And last is S for sparkle up our space. From the word sparkle, it means clean, very clean. We must shine bright by tidying up, caring for our supplies, and keeping our room clean. So, can you read our class pledge and accompany it with their respective actions? Okay, when I say go, let's do this all together. Okay. C for no one is okay. C for again. Our class pledge. C for connect with kindness. Very good. L for let's listen like a detective. And A for awesome effort. S for speak up but in the very good, in the right way. And then S for I forgot the action for this pledge, I'm sorry. S for sparkle up our space. Alright. Now, you all look incredible. So every day we start our class, we'll do our class pledge. So these are just my rules. Again, these These are just my rules. They are our promise to each other. Alright? Are we clear? Very good. Now, once again, good morning class. Before we dive into our main discussion or into our new lesson today, let us take a quick trip back to yesterday. Who can still remember what we did yesterday? Anyone in the class? Yesterday? Yes, Ryan? Very good. Yesterday, we read a poem entitled The Raindrop. And with that poem, we enhanced or we developed and practiced a super important skill, which is looking at a single line from the poem. Because we all know that a poem consists of lines and stanzas, right? So we looked for a line from the poem The Raindrop. And we figured out what it tells or what it conveys, what meaning it conveys. Okay. Now to make sure that skill is still stuck in your heads before we dive into our new lesson this morning, we're going to play a game called Poem Line Pick Up. From the name itself, you will pick a line from the poem The Raindrop, yes? Now, are you ready to show me what you remember? Because this game will serve as our review, whether you really learned or you really practiced a super skill that we need for us to understand the meaning of every line from any poem. Okay. Now, stand up if you're ready to play. Very good. Okay, sit down. Now, when I say go, you must turn to the person next to you. Alright? Turn to the person next to you and take turns. One of you says a line from the poem and the other one will say what it means or what it conveys. Now, you have 45 seconds and when I say go, you will start, okay? Ready, set, go! 35 seconds. 25 seconds. 20 seconds. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Okay, stop. Hands in your head. Now I'll be picking a few pairs to share what they have brainstormed or what they shared to one another. So each pair will share what their partner said regarding the line from the poem The Raindrop, and the other will say the meaning that it conveys, okay? First pair we have, yes, Jonalyn and Ryan. Very good. Another pair. Yes, Linda and Jonalyn. Very good. You all nailed that. I loved how Jonalyn spotted the gentle meaning in the rain line. And, of course, Erlinda applied or connected the line to life. That's exactly the kind of deep thinking we need today. Every single pair worked fast and shared clearly. You've already mastered the skill of finding meaning. Now, that superpower that we're going to use right now to uncover something in a poem that I will present later on. Give yourselves a round of applause. Okay, you're ready to go. But before we proceed to our main discussion, let us have first another activity entitled My Country, My Clue. Okay, I'll show 3 clues, alright? And your job is to guess what we're going to do, because these clues will give you an idea or a clue on what are we going to discuss this morning, alright? First clue we have here, this picture. Yes, it is a flag of the Philippines, meaning, very good, we'll talk about our country, the Philippines. Another clue. Again, a flag of the Philippines with, as you can see, it is a paper with lines in it, right? So what do you think this picture conveys? Yes, Alexa? Very good. It is a palm. And when we connect it to the other picture, very good, Joffrey. It is a poem about the Philippines. We have here our last clue. The first speech bubble says here, ang bayan kong Pilipinas, lupain ng gintong bulaklak. As you can see, this is a line from a poem. Okay, and the other speech bubble says here, my own community. Meaning, it talks about our own community. Okay, so anyone? Yes, Brian? Very good. Yes, correct. Brian was right when he said that you already heard this poem from your Filipino and Araling Palipunan subject. Alright? Yes, that's correct. This poem was already introduced to you in your Filipino and Araling Palipunan subject. Now, before we dive into analyzing the poem Bayan Ko, which you guessed correctly based on our 3 clues, let us take a quick trip back to our Araling Palipunan subject, since it is where we learn the poem Bayan Ko. Okay. Now, in your Araling Palipunan lessons, Bayan Ko was introduced. Remember the period of American colonizers? American colonization rather, in our country, the Philippines. Yes. So Bayan Ko was written during that time. It was written during the American colonization. Now Bayan Ko reflects the sentiments of Filipinos under colonial rule. In your Araling Palipunan subject, it says that the poem Jose Corazon de Jesus used Tagalog to convey a profound love for the Philippines and a longing for freedom. Can you see how the historical context from Araling Palipunan enriches our understanding of the poem's message? Yes, thanks to your Filipino and Araling Palipunan subject, you learned about the poem Bayan Ko and what it talks about. So for us to truly understand the depth of the lines from the poem, we need to remember what we learned in our Araling Palipunan subject and Filipino also, about the challenges and struggles Filipinos faced during the American colonization. It wasn't just a statement of fact, it was an expression of deep longing and love amidst oppression from the American colonization. Alright. So, before we proceed to our main poem, so here's our morning? Okay. Our topic this morning is about poetry, of course. And we will focus specifically on bayan ko, finding values in our love for country. So to dig deeper about the poem, okay. So at the end of the discussion, all of you are expected to identify two specific lines in bayan ko that show love for the Philippines. So you must identify at least two lines from the poem Bayan Ko. Excuse me. You must identify two specific lines only that show the love that we have for our country. Okay. But before that, let us have another activity. So our activity is called Word Hunt, Jambulan at Luck. I think this activity is already familiar to you, right? Since this is very common. Okay. So what we will do is that I will present a word that has jumbled letters in it. So what you will do is that you will unjumble it for you to have the correct word or correct phrase. Okay. Now, I think everyone's being noisy. Clap your hands if you are listening. Alright, I think everyone is listening. Now, before we have our main words, our main vocabulary rather, let us have first a test whether you really know how to unjumble a word. So, what do you think this word, what do you think is the right structure for this word? Can anyone unjumble? Yes, Eliza, you raised your hand. Very good. It is a bomb. Now I think you're ready because you already guessed or you already know how to unjumble a word. So first word, we have, I'll give you 1 minute to guess or to think about what is the correct structure for this phrase, brother. Okay, 1 minute is done. First secret word to jumble is yes, Vijay. Very good. You guessed it correctly. It is communal value. So when we say communal value, it is a value that brings people together as a community. Meaning, people from a certain community will unite, right? And in Bayan Ko, this is why the poem talks about loving our country together and not alone, because we are, communal value means bringing people together, loving our country together and not alone. Very good, okay. Now you can get your prize, Vijay. Yes. Next word. Next phrase, brother. Again, I'll give you 1 minute to think about and unjumble it, but silently, okay? Okay. Oh yes, Alexa, you're raising your hand. It says, very good. Good guesses. It is national identity. When we say national identity, it is the unique traits that make us part of the Philippine nation, our identity as Filipinos. And then signifies that we are proud to be a Filipino. We are proud that we are living in the Philippines. Alright, now let's have our last word, phrase rather. Another 1 minute for you to guess. Yes? Yes, Janelle, you're raising your hand. Very good. It is common good. So when we say common good, it means the well-being of everyone in a community or country. Bayan ko asks us to sacrifice for this because when our country thrives, we all thrive. So in the poem Bayan ko, it said very good, yes. It said that the Bayan ko asked us to sacrifice for our country. Okay. Come get your prize here, Janelle. And also Alexa, since I forgot to give it to you earlier. Alright. Now I think all of you are really ready to listen to our discussion. Now, we have here our poem, Bayan Ko. Can everyone please read it aloud? Okay, thank you so much. So, while reading, can you think of an idea about what the poem conveys while reading the poem? Alright. So, before we start in getting to know the deeper meaning of Bayan Ko, let us have first a getting to know to the poem Bayan Ko. So Bayan Ko is a poem written in 1929 by Jose Corazon Jesus, and his pen name is Hussein Matute. This poem became a song with music by Constancio de Guzman. Later on, I will let you listen to the music. And then many Filipinos sang it to show love for our country, even in hard times, and it became a rally cry for freedom. Because again, it is during the American colonization. Now, I have here the song, which is from the poem Bayan Ko. You can sing it all together. This is our again, Jose Corazon de Jesus. Now, let's talk about how a poem shows love for our country. So, when we talk about love, what comes in your mind? Loving someone, right? But love isn't just saying, I love you. It's in the words we use to describe something. Look at lines 1 and 2. Ang bayan kong Pilipinas, lupain ng lupot bulaklak. Meaning, my Philippines, land of gold and flower. Yes, again, as I said earlier, it is in the words we use to describe something. So, based on the first two lines, the lines 1 and 2, it uses nature to show beauty and preciousness. It is describing the Philippines. Since again, describing means we show our love to our country. And then the lines 3 and 4 says here, pag-ibig ang sa kanyang palad, nag-alay ng ganda dilag. It means love is in her palm. And nag-alay ng ganda dilag means offering beauty and grace. It compares the country to a caring, beautiful woman. Alright. Yes, very good, Delcy. Every word build that image. Every word that describes, every describing words in the poem describes our country, the Philippines. Now, next lines 5 and 6. At sa kanyang bumi at ganda, dayuhan ay nahalina. Meaning, in her charm and beauty, foreigners were drawn. Since again, it is during the American colonization. So, because of the beauty and grace of our country, the Philippines, the foreigners were drawn. Meaning, the foreigners were in love with the Philippines. So, it explains why the American colonizers came to our country. Now, let's look at lines 7 to 8, which shift to grief. Bayan ko, binihan ka, nasadlak sa lusa. Meaning, it shows grief from describing our country happily, being proud of what country we have, wherein if even foreigners were drawn to our country, it shifted to grief. So before we jump into grief, let's use pattern recognition. It is a way to see how the poem's structure connects to communal love. Now look at lines 7 and 8. Again, it talks about grief, right? It means, my country, you're enslaved, plunged into sorrow. It talks about grief over colonization. The poet wrote stanza 1 to 4. Stanza 1 in line 1 to 4 with talking about, which talks about joy. It talks about the nation's beauty and how proud we are as Filipinos to have our country. And then later on in line 2, in stanza 2 rather, in 4 lines that split evenly, meaning from joy to grief. 2 lines of joy as shown in line 5 to 6 still talk about beauty, and 2 lines of grief shown in lines 7 to 8 talking about enslavement. So what can we observe? Yes, Brian? Exactly. As you can see, it somehow shows a quantitative pattern. The poem uses equal parts of joy from lines 6 to 7. And shifted to grief in lines 8 based on the lines of the poem. Think numerically. If our communal experience of the Philippines was only 100% of joy, or only 100% of grief, would that feel true to how we in the Philippines live together? Yes, Alexa. Alright. It is very impossible to live 100% joy or the latter. And yes, the ballad shows that the poet understands what it means to be Filipino. Very good. Now, every one of you got the point. If you look deeply, here's how this ties to our lines. Lines 5 to 8 follow this 2:2 balance. Balance pattern rather. And that balance shows communal love because it reflects what we all share. The ups and downs of being Filipino. Yes, Janelle? You have an idea? Yes, Janelle is right. It's the combination and balanced way that makes us who we are. And how do we define joy and grief in the poem? Yes, it's a balanced pattern. 50% of joy and 50% of grief, correct? And why did the poet wrote that poem in that way? Because again, if it was written in 100% joy or the latter, it wouldn't feel very good class. Now going back, again the balanced approach we learned earlier helps us identify lines 7 to 8 as a communal love line. Because grieving together is a form of love, meaning if we grieve together as one, meaning we love our country. Am I clear? Yes, very good. Now that's the poem's power. It shows love, both joy and pain. Now, all lines in Bayan Ko shows love by first, can everyone please read these 4 lines? I mean 4 definitions wherein Bayan Ko shows love. Describing the country as precious and beautiful, grieving suffering, yearning for freedom, and hoping for liberation. Alright, these are 4 ways. These are 4 ways wherein we can analyze the poem Bayan Ko. So again, describing the country as precious or beautiful, as you can observe in the first stanza, right? And then grieving, suffering, as we tackled earlier, it shifted to grief, and then yearning for freedom from the American colonizers, and then hoping for liberation, hoping for freedom from the colonizers. Now these are 4 ways poems like Bayan Ko show love for country, which matches our communal value of caring for each other and our land. Now let's confirm with stanza 2, line 8. Can everyone please read line 8 from stanza 2? Very good. Nasadlak sa pusa. It shows love by caring about the country's pain. And then, who can point to another word in stanza 1? Ang bayan ng Pilipinas, lupain ng hindi bulaklak, pag-ibig at sa kanyang palad, nag-alay ng ganda at dilag. Who can country as one's own. It means my country or our country. So claiming it as our own is love. Very good. Now, let's analyze every line together since we still have we still have more lines to analyze. We have here the line 9. Ibon mang may layang lumipad. Means, ibon means bird, and then layang lumipad, freedom to fly. Kulungin means cage. Okay, can anyone correctly convey can anyone correctly describe or say what does this line means? Anyone? Yes, team. Oh yes, Brian, you have an idea too. Very good. Brian and Kim, both of your answers are correct. Thumbs up if you agree to Brian and Kim's answers. That every line stands that we shows love through yearning for freedom. Okay. So this line simply means even a bird with the freedom to fly. And then it shows love for our country because it sets up a metaphor. Freedom is natural and precious. Love means honoring it. Okay. All of you really learned to dig deeper and to analyze a poem. So, we have here the next line, which is the line 10. Kulungin mo ang umiiyak. Anyone? Yes, Gail. Very good. It means if you cage it, it cries. So, it simply conveys that if we lack freedom as a country, if we lack freedom, of course we cry for freedom and liberation. It shows that suffering comes from being trapped. So if we are trapped, of course we grieve, we suffer, and love means caring about the pain. Very good, Gail. Next line 11. Bayan Pakayan Sakdal Dilag. Anyone? Yes, guilty. Correct. It means how much more a country of pure beauty. It compares the country to the bird which is caged, which it doesn't have freedom, emphasizing its worth and right to freedom. Next line, ang hinog nasang magkaalpas. Anyone? Alright, very good. It means, wouldn't it yearn to escape? As it asks a rhetorical question, love for country means desiring its liberation. Alright. their primary talent or interest. So there will be actors, artists, dancers, or poets. You must move to the designated area for your group, and then next is understand your task. Each group has a specific artistic focus, wherein actors will perform a short drama based on the poem's lines and message, and then artists make a poster or slogan through the use of art materials inspired by the poem's themes. Dancers must choreograph a short interpretative dance based on the message of the poem, and then the poets will write a four-stanza collective poem that responds or reflects the themes of Bayan Ko. Next is, you have 5 minutes to work together and prepare your piece. Focus on expressing love, patriotism, resilience, and hope, which is the core themes of Bayan Ko. And lastly, after your creation is ready, each group will present their work to the class. Be ready to perform, display, or recite your piece confidently. And then each group will have around 2 minutes to showcase. During your turn, introduce your work, explain briefly how you flash love for the Philippines, then perform or display. Remember, you must work cooperatively and support each other. Focus on expressing genuine feelings of patriotism and love for our country. And lastly, have fun sharing your talents. Okay. Okay, now you can start. You can move to your groupings. Yes, you're doing great. How about your group 2? Alright, that's good. Your weight's swimming. How about V's group? Again, you will have 5 minutes to create your piece, alright? How about here, group 4? Okay, you're doing great. Okay, is everyone done? Okay, last 2 minutes. 2 minutes more. Are you done? Raise your hands if you're already done. Alright, I think everyone's done and you are already ready to present your output. Okay, let's have first group 1. Okay, thank you, group 1. Next group 2. Okay, thank you, group 2. Group 3. Okay, and then our last group 4. Okay, thank you all for your wonderful efforts and creativity in expressing your love for the Philippines through your talents. Okay, give yourselves a round of applause. Each group did a great job showcasing how the themes of patriotism, resilience, and hope are reflected in your work. So for the actors, your emotional expression and stage presence truly captured the spirit of Bayan Ko. And for the artists, your visual storytelling effectively depicted our country's beauty and strength. For the group 3, which is the dancers, your movements and expressions powerfully convey the struggles and hopes of our Filipino people. And for the poets, your words beautifully reflected the deep love and pride we feel for our homeland. I'm so proud of you, class. Now remember, every artistic interpretation is a valuable way to connect with our national identity. Let's give ourselves a round of applause for doing great. Now I have here Now, it's time for a quiz. Everyone, let's pause for just a quick check-in to see how well you've grasped our objectives today. I will give okay. Okay, that one and pass. You will have 2 minutes to answer that quiz. Finished? If you're finished, submit your papers in front, please. Okay, everyone is finished. And it's already time also. So please pass your papers to the front without standing. And then, great job staying focused to that. So, I'll just have these graded and we'll return it to you during our next meeting.